On the 10th of October 1944, USS Slater DE-766 and her crew were about halfway across the North Atlantic on their maiden convoy. Steaming at 16 knots, Slater was one of 10 escort vessels in the 40-plus ship convoy. Nothing remarkable happened on this date, apart from the normal drills. On the 11th, Captain's Mess was held at 11:15. Motor Machinist Mate 3rd Class Shovelin was charged with drunkenness and insolence. He received a warning and 6 months probation. Water Tender 3rd Class Roman received a deck court for using profane language to a petty officer. USS Oswald, DE-767, left her station at 15:10 to screen the straggling SS Cape Nome, and both ships returned to the main body 3 hours later. Anti-aircraft practice was held on the 12th. 4 rounds of 3-inch 50 caliber and 15 rounds of 40mm were expended. More gunnery practice on Friday the 13th. 4 rounds of 3-inch and 28 rounds of 40mm were expended. USS Kirkpatrick, DE-318, left her station at 10:25 to investigate a radar contact. 30 minutes later, the neutral SS Irish Cedar was identified and directed to alter course away from the convoy. USS Harvison, DE-316, left her station at 15:30 to transfer charts from HMS Puncher to SS Fairfax. This took an hour and 15 minutes. On the 14th, visibility decreased due to a fog, and Seaman First Class Nelson was added to the sick list, along with Seaman Second Class Wronski. Slater was relieved from her picket station by Oswald at 10:03, and in turn relieved USS Poole, DE-151, from her picket station, number 4. 2 hours later, rough weather set in. As moderate gales were expected, the lifelines were strung, and the starboard side of the ship was banned to all crew. Visibility wasn't the greatest, and a medium spray began to be taken over the deck and fantail. More lifelines were rigged on the forecastle that evening, and as the convoy approached England, it was separated into 2 new convoys. The new convoy Commodore was now in HCMS Thane, and Slater changed station once more to station number 2 and began operating the degaussing coils and commenced recording soundings. On the final day of the week, the convoy formed into 3 columns, and Slater remained in station number 2. At 13:45, the Bristol-bound section of CU-42 departed, escorted by Harvison, and that night HMS Puncher detached from the convoy and sailed independently. The remainder of the ships continued sailing into the night for Liverpool. And we end this week with the updated location map for Slater. I've included a few of the known U-boat locations nearest her convoy. At the closest, U-1221 was just under 200 miles north of Slater on the 7th. U-541 was just over 300 miles north of Slater on the 10th of October. And the route of the convoy does suggest the locations of these U-boats were noted in advance, thanks to the breaking of the Enigma years prior. And there we have another week in the book. Slater's first convoy to England was uneventful, but interesting to learn about. If you wish to continue seeing us produce these short looks into Slater's wartime history, be sure to subscribe and leave us a like. It helps the museum spread awareness of destroyer escorts and ensure the stories of their crews are not forgotten.